and welcome to the Evident Conspiracy Files. Our episodes are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. However, we are now coming to you too. Are you ready to wake up and awaken to the corruption that's been around you this whole time? Join us as we travel through the fog. Question everything.
Welcome to the Evident Conspiracy Files, with bonus episodes only available on Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts can still be listened to from Android devices. Please come over and enjoy all we have to offer. Episodes are researched from publicly available data, including declassified files from across the globe and whistleblowers. We may publish some of these data sets on social media platforms like X. Any views or opinions from the host or members of our team are solely theirs, and we hold no liability for information that may change over time as more information becomes available. Remember, some of the areas we gather our facts may be from institutions with an agenda. Question everything and always do your own research. Please get in touch by email from the_ECF@icloud.com. Leave a review, it really helps us keep the lights on. Enjoy.
Welcome, Truth Seekers, to another episode of the Evident Conspiracy Files, the podcast where we peel back the layers of the official narrative and expose the hidden truths that the powers to be don't want you to know. I'm your host, Mark Mayhew, and today we're diving headfirst into the cosmic unknown. If you're already listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and join our community of awake minds questioning everything. Remember, we have exclusive bonus content exclusively on Apple Podcasts. We thrive on your support, and every share helps us spread the word about these suppressed stories. They've helped to enslave us in a world of control. May we awaken together. Folks, space is the final frontier. But what if it's not empty? What if it's teeming with life, older and more advanced visitors who have been watching us for eons? What if they've been manipulating events from the shadows? Our episode today centres on 3I Atlas. That's the third confirmed interstellar object hurtling through our solar system, detected in a vast expanse beyond our planetary neighbourhood.
Pum-Pum, what did the Earth say when the Earth saw a comet coming towards it? Come at me, bro. Ha ha ha.
That's not even funny.
What the f*** was that?
Officially, it's believed to be labelled as a comet. Discovered by Atlas telescope systems in early 2025. But whisperings in the shadows of the astronomy forums, leaked documents and insider tips suggest something far more sinister. An alien-controlled craft, dormant for possibly millennia, now waking up as it breaches the sun's radiation. And get this, it's allegedly pulsing signals straight towards Earth, like a cosmic alarm clock ringing for an appointment we didn't know we had. Well, we'll explore the facts, the theories, and the cover-ups in detail. Would they, the government, the elites, NASA, and perhaps even shadowy figures like Richard Doty, tell us if it was real? And how does the recent SpaceX launch fit into the puzzle? 2 rockets went up, but one was shrouded in military secrecy. Coincidence? I think not. We'll also dive into the whistleblowers like Gary McKinnon, who hacked into NASA's systems and uncovered evidence of hidden space fleets, and tie it to the possibility that our so-called new Space Force is just a public face of a much older operation that already knows far more about interstellar visitors than they're letting on. Buckle up, This will be a wild ride as we double down on the details to uncover every angle. First, let's set the stage with some comprehensive background to ensure we're all on the same page. Interstellar objects aren't new, but they are rare at least. That's what we're told by the gatekeepers of astronomical knowledge. The first one, 1I Oumuamua, zipped through our solar system in 2017, capturing the imagination of scientists and conspiracy theorists alike. Remember that. It was the cigar-shaped, tumbling erratically through space, and exhibited acceleration in ways that defied natural explanations. Harvard's astrophysicist Avery Loeb, a guy who's not afraid to buckle the establishment and face ridicule for it, famously he suggested it could be an alien probe or even a light sail from an advanced civilization. The mainstream scientific community laughed it off as a weird asteroid or a comet fragment. But Loeb's best-selling book, Extraterrestrial, The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, laid out the evidence. No visible comet tail, unusual speed that suggested artificial propulsion, and the mysterious non-gravitational push that couldn't be fully explained by outgassing alone. Was it scanning our planet? Gathering data on humanity before it's slingshot away back to its home star? Then came the second, 2I Borisov, in 2019, which appeared more comet-like with a visible tail of gas and dust, but still undeniably interstellar, originating from outside our solar system, perhaps from a distant dwarf star. Scientists patted themselves on the back, saying, "See, these things are natural phenomena, nothing to see here." But now, in 2025, we have 3I Atlas entering the scene. Discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, i.e. Atlas, in Hawaii. This object is barreling toward us at over 130,000 miles per hour. That's faster than Voyager 1, the fastest human-made object. Its trajectory is hyperbolic, meaning it's not gravitationally bound to our sun. It's a true visitor, possibly hurtling from the direction of the constellation Lyra, home to the bright star Vega, which has its own long history of alien speculation in science fiction and in fringe theories alike.
Please take a quick moment to support us. By clicking like and subscribe, you are keeping us above ground. If not, I may get angry and add you to my reaping list.
Official reports from NASA and the European Space Agency paint a picture of a mundane space rock. It's estimated to be about 1 to 3 kilometers wide, with a reddish hue that could be from cosmic ray exposure over billions of years. And as it approaches its closest point to the sun, it's brightening dramatically, as if shedding its outer layers. NASA says it's outgassing, like water ice that's turning to vapor, just like any ordinary comet. But here's where it gets weird, and we'll unpack this slowly. Observations from the Hubble Space Telescope and the James Webb Space Telescope show irregular brightening patterns, almost like it's self-illuminating in controlled bursts. Not the steady, predictable glow of a comet's coma, but pulses that ebb and flow with precision. And radio telescopes around the world, they've picked up faint repeating signals in the microwave band, aimed, you guessed it, directly towards Earth. As if it's broadcasting a message specifically for us. Is this natural? Comets can fragment or erupt due to thermal stresses, sure. We've seen that, with comets like Shoemaker Levy 9 slamming into Jupiter in 1994. But 3i Atlas, its outbursts are timed suspiciously with its increase in exposure to solar radiation. As it gets closer to the sun, the activity ramps up, almost like a machine rebooting. Conspiracy theorists, and I'm including myself in this awake community, say it's not random cosmic behaviour. But what if it's an ancient alien aircraft powered down to conserve energy during its long, lonely interstellar journey across the void? Solar radiation could be recharging its advanced systems, like solar-powered drone waking up from deep hibernation mode after eons of silence. The pulses, not random, electromagnetic noise, deliberate communications. Maybe it's hailing its creators back home, reporting on our solar system's defences, or worse, signalling an invasion fleet lurking just beyond our sight. Perhaps it's a beacon activating dormant technology here on Earth. Ancient artifacts buried under the pyramids or the Atlantic ice, waiting for its cosmic trigger. Let's dive even deeper into the science, or the glaring lack thereof, to build our case. Avery Loeb, that maverick from Harvard, has been all over this story like a detective on a cold case. In recent peer-reviewed papers published in the Astrophysical Journal, and in interviews on podcasts like Joe Rogan's, he applies the classic duck test. If it looks like alien technology, walks like alien technology, and quacks like alien technology, then maybe, just maybe it is. He points out 3i Atlas's unusual low albedo, its dark, absorbing light efficiently, much like a stealth craft designed to evade detection. Its shape, early images, and radar pings suggest it's not a simple rock, it's elongated, with what appear to be protrusions that could be antennas, solar or energy panels, or even thrusters for course corrections. And that acceleration anomaly, similar to a Muamua, our cigar-shaped flyover from the past. It's showing non-gravitational boosts without a prominent visible tail, defying the standard comet model.
If aliens have been on that craft all this time, well, they will look sizzled like me. Ha ha! Why does a shooting star taste better than a comet? It's a little meteor. Oh, getting better, right?
Now let's pivot the conspiracy core of this episode, expanding on why disclosure might never happen and introducing key figures who've peeled back the curtain before. If 3i Atlas is indeed an alien craft waking up, would they, the government, the elites, NASA, tell us? Hell no. The history provides ample evidence. First, the panic factor. Imagine the headlines blaring across every screen. Alien probe approaching Earth. Is it friend or foe? Stock markets would crash in hours. Religions could fracture as they are challenged, and suicide rates might spike amid the dread. Remember Orson Welles' infamous 1938 radio broadcast, War of the Worlds. People thought it was a real invasion and panicked en masse, fleeing cities and arming themselves. Multiply that chaos by 1 billion in our hyper-connected social media era, where misinformation can spread like wildfire. Governments know this all too well. They've wargamed alien contact scenarios for decades. Leaked documents from the 1950s, Brookings Report, commissioned by NASA. This explicitly warned that devastating intelligent extraterrestrial life could destabilise society, leading to cultural shocks comparable to the fall of civilization. Second, control and power dynamics. If this object harbours advanced technology, who gets it first? The military-industrial complex, of course. Think Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and their black-budget offshots. Reverse engineer that craft, and you'll unlock ultimate energy sources, faster than light-speed propulsion, weapons that make nuclear arsenal look like slingshots. The global elites, those shadowy attendees of the Bilderberg meetings and Davos forums, they would hoard it all. Why share such godlike power with the plebs? They're already divided by class, race, ideology. This would simply cement their dominance for generations. Third, the pattern of ongoing cover-ups that stretches back centuries. Roswell in 1947, officially later changed to a weather balloon, but witnesses described metallic debris and bodies. Project Blue Book, the Air Force's UFO investigation from 1952 to 1969, dismissed thousands of sightings as swamp gas or Venus. More recently, the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as ATIP, admitted in declassified reports that unidentified aerial phenomena, known as UAPs, defy known physics, with speeds and maneuvers that suggest non-human origin. But full disclosure? Never. Whistleblowers like David Grosh, a former intelligence officer, testified before Congress in 2023 about recovered non-human biologics and intact craft in government possession. What followed? Stonewalling, redactions, and crickets from the media.
Please take a quick moment to support us.
By
clicking
we've
like
done
and
that.
subscribe, you are keeping
We're
us
not doing
above
it
ground.
again! To deepen this, let's introduce Richard Doty, a figure who embodies the disinformation machine at work. Doty was a special agent for the Air Force of Special Investigations, or AFOSI, in the 1980s. Stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base, he's infamous for his role in the Paul Bennewitz affair, where he fed false information to Bennewitz, a physicist who was intercepting strange signals near New Mexico. Signals that sound eerily similar to what we're hearing from 3i Atlas. Doty allegedly showed Bennewitz fabricated documents about underground alien bases, MJ-12, the supposed Majestic 12 group overseeing UFO matters, and even staged events to drive him to paranoia. Doty later admitted in interviews and documentaries his job was to spread disinformation to protect real secrets, mixing the truth with lies to discredit genuine leaks. If 3i Atlas is pulsing signals, could Doty types be at it again? Planting stories of natural comets while the real data is buried. Doty's involvement in forging the infamous MJ-12 papers, which detailed Eisenhower, alien treaties. This basically shows how deep the rabbit hole goes. He's claimed in podcasts that the government has recovered multiple craft, some interstellar-like, like 3i Atlas, and that disclosure is withheld to prevent technological leaps that could disrupt oil cartels and defense contractors. And speaking of hidden knowledge, what about the US Space Force, established publicly in 2019 under Trump? It's portrayed as a new branch for satellite defense and space
I'm back
operations.
for eyes.
Right, I've had enough. At least I've got eyes.
Oh shit.
And speaking of hidden knowledge, what about the US Space Force? Established publicly in 2019 under Trump, it's portrayed as a new branch of satellite defense and space operations. But conspiracy circles whisper of a secret space program, predating it by decades. Think Solar Warden, an alleged fleet of advanced spacecraft patrolling our solar system. This ties directly to Gary McKinnon, the British hacker who in 2001 to 2002 breached NASA and Department of Defense computers. McKinnon, searching for UFO evidence, stumbled upon spreadsheets listing non-terrestrial officers, personnel not based on Earth, and ship-to-ship transfer logs for vessels. He described finding images of cigar-shaped craft, much like a Muamua or Three-Eye Atlas. Facing extradition, McKinnon claimed in interviews with Wired and the BBC that this was proof of a covert space fleet, possibly reverse-engineered from alien technology. The US tried to bury it as hacking damage. But why no trial? Perhaps because his findings were too close to the truth. If Space Force already knows about interstellar objects like Three-Eye Atlas, maybe even intercepting them, it explains the secrecy. They're not new. They're the declassified tip of an iceberg that's been operational since the 1980s, using black budgets from the $800 billion defense spending budget over the years. So why not tell us? Because knowledge is the ultimate power. If aliens are real and interacting, it means we're not alone and perhaps not in control of our own destiny. Religions might collapse if scriptures of angels are reinterpreted as ETs. Economies built on scarcity, fossil fuels, rare minerals would crumble with free energy tech from craft possibly like Three-Eye Atlas. And if the object is hostile, as some speculative papers from think tanks like RAND suggest, better to handle it quietly with assets like Space Force's orbital weapons. Enter the recent SpaceX launch to tie it all together. Let's connect the dots. On August 22nd, 2025, SpaceX launched the US Space Force's X-37B, the spaceplane from Cape Canaveral's Space Launch Complex 41. This is no ordinary mission. It's the 17th orbital test vehicle flight for the X-37B, a reusable, unmanned mini space shuttle that's been surrounded in mystery since its inception by Boeing. Official statements from the Space Force describe it as demonstrating advanced laser communications, quantum navigation systems, and aerodynamic experiments in low Earth orbit. But that's the sanitized term for a cover-up. The X-37B has spent years on missions totaling over 10,000 days on classified operations, testing experimental payloads, deploying secret satellites, and even rumoured to have conducted surveillance on foreign space assets. This particular launch, timed suspiciously as Three-Eye Atlas approaches its solar close-up when its waking activity is also peaking. There were two mentioned rockets, so here's the intriguing twist. Just days later, on August 26, 2025, SpaceX conducted its Starship's Flight 10 from the Starbase facility in Boca, Texas, a massive integrated test of the Super Heavy booster and Starship upgrade stage, aiming for orbital insertion and recovery demonstrations. Officially, this is part of Elon's grand vision for Mars colonization, and expanding Starlink to provide apparent global internet. But why two high-profile launches in such quick succession, straining resources and drawing global attention? Insider whispers on platforms like X and Reddit suggest the Starship event was a deliberate diversion tactic. While the world's eyes were glued to the flashy Starship spectacle, with its towering flames, potential explosions, and live-streamed drama, the X-37B slipped into orbit under the radar, carrying undisclosed military payloads. Space Force involvement runs deep here. They're not just passengers, they're collaborators with SpaceX on classified technology. From a conspiracy lens, what if the X-37B is en route to intercept 3i Atlas? Its laser tech could be dual purpose, communications for hurling the object, or, indeed, a direct energy weapon to disable it. Quantum navigation, ideal for handling the exotic trajectories of interstellar visitors. And SpaceX's role. Elon Musk's company has deep ties to the military, Starlink satellites, aiding Ukrainian forces in real-time warfare. Falcon 9 rockets routinely launching from National Reconnaissance Office spy satellites. A post from social media labelled the X-37B as a secret US military spacecraft designed for covert operations. Spot on. If 3i Atlas is waking up and pulsing signals, perhaps SETI detected bursts mimicking natural phenomena like whale songs or embedded with binary code. The military wants first dibs to analyse, exploit and neutralise. Would they tell the public? Absolutely not. It's about maintaining strategic dominance.
A woman bursts out laughing in a NASA control room, witnessing a comet on an impact course with Earth. The director said, "Margaret, this is beyond catastrophic. What on earth are you laughing at?" "Woman, sorry, it's just the comet reminds me of my husband." The director said, "What are you talking about?" "Woman, well, it's coming too quickly." "Haha, guess if it affects you it won't be funny." Lovely stuff.
If it's friendly tech, they control the narrative and patterns. If hostile, they avert global panic by handling it in the black. Let's speculate wildly now. That's the fun part of conspiracy theorizing, and we'll expand on it with historical ties. Imagine 3i Atlas as a self-replicating alien machine launched eons ago to seed the galaxy with intelligence. As solar radiation activates its fusion core or antimatter drive, it begins manufacturing, duplicates itself using cometary materials. The pulses? Not just signals, perhaps downloading terabytes of data from Earth's networks, hijacking satellites, or even influencing human thoughts via quantum entanglement theories proposed by physicists like Roger Penrose. Or worse, activating sleeper agents, hybrid beams or AI implants from past visitations. Historical parallels abound to support this. The Black Knight satellite's legend, an alleged ancient alien probe orbiting Earth since the 13th century, pulsing signals detected by ham radio operators back in the 1950s. NASA dismisses it as space junk from Discovery missions, but grainy photos and orbital data suggest otherwise. Or the WOW signal from 1977 from the Big Ear telescope, which was a 72-second burst from the Sagittarius area with intensity and narrowband frequency, screaming artificial origin, but it was never repeated. Cover-up. Undoubtedly, SETI funding was slashed shortly after that. If 3i Atlas is a mobile version, it's a game changer. Perhaps the mothership for signals like the dubbed WOW signal. Tying back to Doty, in his post-retirement confessions, he hinted at interstellar artifacts, monitored by AFOSI, suggesting programs like Project Aquarius catalogued them. And McKinnon's hacks. He found evidence of anti-gravity technology and off-world bases, implying the Space Force and National Reconnaissance Office have been tracking objects like 3i Atlas for years. Social media users have collectively debunked the speed as too slow for interstellar craft. But what if it's a dormant Sentinel, not a speedy scout? Online video threads question if it's a comet or craft, fueling debates with speculative data. The broader implications, if disclosed, could unite humanity or deepen divisions. Elites stage a false flag attack, blaming aliens for engineered disasters to impose global martial law and one world government. And that's another topic we'll dive into soon. But Ronald Reagan's 1987 UN speech mused that an alien threat would unite us all.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Was that predictive programming? Hollywood films like Independence Day and Arrival condition us for contact, but always with a twist of secrecy. But why hide it all? Greed, fear, bureaucratic incompetence? Governments, botched pandemics and wars. Handling aliens would be a PR nightmare. Doty's disinformation shows they'd rather gaslight than reveal. McKinnon's near extradition highlights the lengths they go to silence truth seekers. So listeners, what do you think? Is 3i Atlas a harmless comet or a wakened sentinel of doom? Get in contact with us. Over the last few months, we've enjoyed diving into your emails and created content based on listener requests, like Listeners from the Void on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So email the Evident Conspiracy Files at the_ECF@icloud.com and find us on X. Simply type into your search box the Evident Conspiracy Files and share your theories. We may even give you a shout out. However, now we've covered Doty's deceptions, McKinnon's hacks, and the Space Force's hidden history, all pointing towards suppressed knowledge. Let's parallel with more past events to flush this out, like the big event of 1908, a massive explosion over Siberia flattening 800 square miles of forest, the official narrative, a meteor airburst. The conspiracy angle, an alien craft malfunctioning, or even a test of Nikola Tesla's death ray. Bear in mind, no craters were ever found, which is highly suspicious, and eyewitness accounts of a cylindrical object also adds fuel to the fire. Or, of course, we have the 1561 celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg, Germany. It was documented through woodcuts that show UFOs battling in the sky. Spheres and cylinders were colliding. The church at the time called it a divine sign. Modern ufologists, however, say interstellar conflict was spilling out into our atmosphere. Closer to home, however, Oumuamua was revisited in detail. Loeb's team used the Green Bank telescope to scan for signals. Nothing at the time was detected, but perhaps it was actually in stealth mode. 3i Atlas, however, is active. Its pulses repeat every 37 minutes. Patterns are analysed by amateur radio astronomers, and potential binary code has also been found. One wild theory is communicating with ancient Earth sites like Atlantis, where aliens allegedly gifted technology to now lost civilizations. The government's response to these patterns is consistent misdirection. NASA pushes for probe redirects. The Mars Orbiter's high-resolution camera or Juno's instruments could snap more details. But if the military's involvement via SpaceX, it's all classified under national security, so we simply won't know. The X-37B's laser could vaporize threats or decode signals. The ethical dilemmas. If 3i Atlas is benevolent, hiding its robes and preventing humanity of advancement. If it's malevolent, security endangers us all. Dotizops show morality takes a backseat to control. McKinnon's story humanizes the fight, a solo hacker versus the machine. Now to speculate. As 3i Atlas slingshots past Venus in September of 2025, signals spike, causing global blackouts and UFO flaps. Space Force deploys X-37B for capture, while Starship launches rescue payloads, which are actually retrieval teams. The public is told the comet fragmented harmlessly, but leaks from insiders, like a new Doty rival, an alien AI core warning of a galactic threat or offering technology. Gary types hack in, exposing it all. In conclusion, 3i Atlas isn't just a space rock, it's a test for transparency, waking with solar rays, pulsing to Earth. Alien craft or not, it exposes the veils of secrecy woven by figures like Richard Doty and branches like McKinnon's and the shadows of the Space Force itself. Would they tell you? No. It's control. Panic avoidance, eternal power, so stay vigilant, question relentlessly, and thank you for joining us in this dive into the Evident Conspiracy Files. Remember to subscribe, share, awaken others. The truth is out there, pulsing in the dark. I'm sure we will be revisiting this topic again soon. However, did we miss anything? Or is there a topic you would like covered? Get in touch and leave a comment. Keep your eyes peeled. The Evident Conspiracy Files will be back shortly, where an episode soon will also be covering fluoride and whether the government has been intentionally dumbing us down and making us more compliant. Stay up to date and follow us on X. Remember, question everything, and we will see you again, somewhere in time.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Evident Conspiracy Files. More episodes coming soon. Oh, and remember your tinfoil hat next time. It fits nice, right? Oh shit.